Welcome into All Things. We are happy to be back in the studio today with All Things Feedback as parents, pastors, and professionals.
I hope your summer is going great, and we're excited to be back in the podcast studio and to put out some more content for you today. So I am going to take my time here with a couple of the Would You Rathers. I don't normally get to do this, so I have a couple of them that
He beat me to it this time.
I'm going to ask. And the first one's going to be about feedback, and then I've got some other burning questions that I need to ask. But would you rather receive feedback privately or publicly?
I guess I'm going to say privately because I feel like it can be more raw if it's private. Even though, I mean, if it's good feedback, I wouldn't mind it to be
Public, yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think privately, just so it's very honest.
So do you want it? Do you want feedback to be direct and to the point, or do you kind of want it sugar coated a little bit and so it goes down a little easier?
Probably want it to be direct and to the point about most things, unless it's something like my heart and soul is in, and then I would need you to maybe break it to me gently.
Break it to you gently.
But overall, just I can take it.
Gotcha.
Hand it to me. I'm a champ.
Well, I'm words of affirmation on the love languages, and I needed it all sugar coated. Words mean so much to me. Actually, Ronnie at our church came to me and one time, and he was like, "Look, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't beat around the bush. Like, just be direct and to the point." And that's the total opposite of me. I'm like, no, I want everything sugar-coated.
Well, I think we will talk about a way to distribute feedback here in a few more minutes, so we can get into that for Brother Ronnie.
Absolutely. I have another would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather, and this is important and serious, would you rather come to work dressed as a superhero every day or have to sing all of your emails out loud?
Sing my emails 100%.
Okay.
That's easy. I'll sing the rest of the podcast if you want me to.
Well, you don't have to tell everyone, but I am dressed as a superhero right now.
You already are.
That's right. Clark Kent. So there has been a burning question throughout social media and all over our country. And I need to ask today for you, for the podcast listeners, I've even texted this out to some different ones. Do you think 100 men could take one gorilla, or is the gorilla walking out of there after defeating 100 men?
I think the 100 men would win, but they may not all be in one piece afterwards. If they can work together and strategize, then yeah, I definitely think that they're going to win.
You may lose a tithe of men, so you might lose 10%. If 10 go first and the other 90
and if it were
jump
100
on.
me, you would lose more than 10%. But I think I could pull it off. Throat punch him enough times.
Those gorillas are pretty strong.
I
don't know. I think I could, but I don't know that I'm brave enough to clone myself 99 times and go find out.
Let's just be lucky that we don't actually have to answer this one in real life.
Absolutely right.
I am excited, though, to talk about feedback today. Feedback is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful but underrated pieces of information. It's information, and it's knowledge, and knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
But it is so valuable, and if you don't have a source of feedback in your life, either at your job or whatever it is that you are doing every day, then find a way to get you some feedback. Think about reviews online. We've had them for so long now. I've done several events over the summer, and the other day I had to purchase something on Amazon, and there were two of the same item, pretty well the same price. One had a 4.5-star review. One had a 4-star review. I bought the 4.5-star review item. Didn't think twice about it. But that just little half star was enough to get whatever company that was a little piece of my money, because I know how reviews work and I appreciate them. And I wouldn't want to do online shop. Like, think about for a second, what would online shopping look like without reviews?
Yeah. Last year, you and I we went to Florida for a few days, and we stopped in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Stayed in a hotel
Oh, yeah.
that was under construct, literally being renovated. There were ceiling tiles missing, and I wished I had looked at reviews
To see
to
that
know
it
that, because I
was,
was
yeah.
miserable. My allergies
And a
flared
tornado
up,
came
and then a
through.
tornado came through, and a literal tornado came through, and we survived, thankfully. But I wished I had read some reviews about that. Now
Yeah.
we're planning a trip to Dallas here for a couple of days, and I was telling you this week I was looking at a hotel, and it some of the most recent reviews talked about being under construction in the first floor was kind of off limits because it was being renovated, and that was an immediate no
No.
for me of like, I've got to go somewhere else. I don't want to be miserable while I'm at
Yes,
this
it's a hard
hotel.
no.
So that construction dust is
So
just tough.
that
So
piece of feedback was very
absolutely,
valuable to us. So every review is a piece of feedback and it is powerful. And I'm thankful for the negative reviews. I'm thankful for the good ones, but I'm thankful that somebody can say, "Hey, this was defective. Don't
sure,
waste your money."
yeah. It's beneficial on certainly products, places to stay, things like that. I struggle a little bit because the negative comments can affect me being words of affirmation on like employee
That's
reviews.
true.
So we are going to dive into that a little bit. We
Yeah.
have our tagline of we're parents, pastors, professionals, and so we're going to look at feedback from those few areas, and diving into the parents first. I certainly think of Proverbs 22, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he's older, he won't depart from it. So that's a little bit of what is that word? What does it mean to train up a child? And to me, that's, there's a lot of things involved there, but I think of discipline,
Yeah.
learning to discipline a child, not necessarily just getting on to them, but correction. And correction is not rejection. It's
Yeah.
not, rejecting them. It's saying, hey, here's some better direction
That's good.
for you, instead of just, I corrected my kid. I'm not rejecting them, saying, leave, get out of my house. It's saying, hey, we've got to get some better direction here and do this right. And
That's good.
one thing that we've seen, and obviously every kid's different. We've got four. Our daughter's the oldest, three boys. They're all unique in how they give and take information and feedback, how they learn in school. So it's been important for us to teach our children to receive feedback, to receive that direction without blame shifting,
Yeah.
without just becoming defensive and immediately putting their guard up. If I'm doing something in construction, which I don't do, but if somebody came along and said, hey, let me correct you here, I don't want to be defensive
Yeah.
about it, that, hey, I'm doing this my way. If there's a better way, I want to receive that. A shortcut, I'm going about it wrong. The foundation's not going to be good.
That's good.
I don't want to be defensive and say, no, I'm going to do it my way.
And something else you said earlier is helpful in delivering feedback to your kids is knowing their love language. Your kids also have a love language. And when you know their love language, it can help you in how you deliver and how you approach the things that, we have to do as parents.
Yeah, we've got to understand it's self improvement, and even those employee reviews at work, they are to the benefit of the employee. That it's self improvement. Here's some ways you can get better. Now, I do think some people use employee reviews to show everybody I'm the boss, and there's some pros and cons to that, certainly. But I know from a parental perspective, a big word for us is balance.
Yeah.
And this feedback, knowing when, how, it is like walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
You've got to find balance. How does this person receive this feedback? How strong do I need to be?
Yeah.
How much sugar do I need to put on it to make this medicine taste better? So it's knowing who you're dealing with, knowing, now you're giving a review for a product. You're not
Yeah.
necessarily hurting that hotel's feelings. You could be hurting their business, but
Yeah.
but it's finding balance there when you're dealing with your children, especially.
That's good. So, feedback as parents is necessary. We can't escape the need for giving feedback as a parent. But I will say that timing is everything and gentleness is key. No matter their love language, gentleness is key. And feedback and discipline aren't exactly the same thing. And know what requires feedback and what doesn't. Discern what actually needs feedback. So the things that really require feedback would be like their moral issues, their ethics, their just successful human being things.
Absolutely.
Things that they are going to have to know, have to do, have to be right to live outside of my house one day and be a success. School performance needs feedback appropriately.
Absolutely.
Sports, extracurriculars, instruments, whatever the extracurricular needs feedback limited. It needs limited feedback because those are the extracurricular things. And that's what hopefully they're helping to develop and hone their extra skills that are not going to be, what helps them to survive one day. So just if you critique every single little bitty thing that they're doing, that they're working on, I think it can kind of make them tone deaf to feedback.
Yeah. I think your heart has to be right behind the correction.
Yeah.
Paul talks about to the Ephesian church in Ephesians 6, don't provoke your children to anger.
Yeah, that's good.
Bring them up in discipline and instruction of the Lord. So I'm not just correcting a behavior. I want to their motives, their heart behind it. I want to correct them correctly.
That's good.
And not just, I know Paul got away with calling people ignorant in the Bible. And I joke at our church, like, if I called y'all ignorant on Sunday mornings, I don't know that you're coming back next week
Nope.
or midweek Bible study, but we let Paul get away with it. So,
Yeah.
I just don't think that there's a right and a wrong way to go about correction from certainly in a parental point of view, but then also in the workplace, professionals, from a pastoral point of view. So make sure your heart is right.
That's good.
When you are correcting. It's not just to provoke anger within them. It's not to show I'm smarter than you. It's to pull out something better that's in them.
That's good. And the last thing I'll say for parental feedback is that their personal tastes and their choices aren't going to be the same as yours. And that's not, if they like a different style than you of clothing, music, whatever, that's not your cue to go and offer all of your opinions and your feedback on why this and why that. Save those things for the things that really matter. The old adage, pick your battles. Think about that when you need to go and offer some feedback. Pick your battles. Pick the ones that really matter.
Right. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And I think that's some really good feedback for all of us in that realizing feedback fuels excellence.
That's good.
As iron sharpens iron. So the best teams, the best relationships, they don't fear feedback. They invite it. They welcome it. And I want to create a culture where feedback is normalized. It's not just weaponized, but it's normal to give and take.
Yes. I like what you said, give and take.
Yeah, certainly if I'm around other people that are in the same boat as I am, say pastoral ministry or in the banking field that I'm in, I want to be around people that are better than me. They're going through the same issues that I'm faced with, and that iron can sharpen iron, and we can all be better
That's
based
good.
off feedback from others, learning always.
Yeah,
What's the old saying? You've got two ears, you've got one mouth, so
for a
you should
reason.
listen more than you speak.
That's good.
So maybe that'll help somebody out there.
So I want on the professional and the pastoral side of things, I want to say it's hard to give feedback to individuals sometimes when they have a reason or a validation for everything or excuses. And their defenses rise, like we were talking about with kids too, but this carries over into adulthood. Defenses can rise before anything productive can be done. And you can tell who's open to helpful responses and who's not. Not everybody wants feedback, and that's okay, but it is damaging as far like if you want to move into leadership and you can't give feedback effectively to someone who excuses their reasons for everything. You can tell when you're giving feedback to a person when you're delivering some, but they can't receive it because they're busy calculating in their mind how they're going to respond with their reason of why they did it that way or why they've been so busy or
Right. Oh yeah.
whatever. So it's a mindset shift. You need feedback. Hopefully, you're going to implement it some ways. I listened to another podcast and a guy said that we should crave feedback.
Yeah.
And I thought I want to shift my perspective to crave feedback.
I don't want to have an excuse
Yeah.
for every what would seem to be negative feedback coming my way.
That's right.
So
Just own it sometimes.
just own it. Sometimes, hey, you're right. I dropped the ball. I'm going to do better. I picked on Paul a little bit. I might as well pick on James too. James 1, verse 19. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And there's some verses in the Bible that are in there, and I'm just like, that is easy to write.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But James, do you know how hard that is to do? Be
Yes.
quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And emotionally mature leaders receive feedback with humility, even if the delivery isn't perfect. Even if the person giving the feedback, their words are correct, but maybe their heart's not in the right place
Yeah.
or their spirit's not right, how they're doing it doesn't mean I need to be slow to listen, fast to speak, and fast to
Yeah.
become angry.
Yeah.
Even if their delivery's not perfect, I still need to be quick to listen,
You still get
slow
the
to
meat.
respond,
Yeah.
and slow to become
Yeah,
angry.
still you can pull the meat out of what they're saying.
Yeah.
So going back to the parental thing for 1 second, you said emotionally mature people can receive feedback. And that's something that hopefully we're developing in our children when they're still in our home is developing their emotional maturity so that they can live their life and receive feedback. Because if they can and they have some good people in their life and good voices in their life, they're going to go far because feedback is so valuable and powerful. And I'm thankful for leaders that love me enough to be honest with me and tell me when they thought they saw something I could do better. Or if there was something I was a part of planning, things didn't go smoothly, I have to have the ability to think, I felt like at the time this was the best idea or this was the best I could do. Nobody feels like they didn't try their hardest at something usually, but maybe I missed something. Maybe there was another route that was better. But I'm grateful that I also have leaders that know to tell me when I am doing well or when they see a strength. So if you're a giver of feedback, look for both types. Look for ways to tell people you're seeing good things develop and not just when they need to do better.
Yeah, we've got to focus on the behavior, not the person. And I know there can be personal differences.
Yeah.
But so the person giving the feedback and the person receiving it, let's understand this person's not after me individually. They're trying to correct this behavior in me. And from a parental point of view, I'm not attacking my child,
Yeah.
the person that they are.
It's always the
I'm
behavior.
focused on the behavior. I want to be specific in that, timely, offer them solutions on how it could be better.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't ever want to come across as degrading them.
Yeah.
So that tightrope I talked about earlier, finding the balance. Like I need to correct this behavior, but I don't want to destroy the person while I'm doing it. I want to,
Yeah.
if I can, I want to build them up and help them to be better. And so if I can correct this behavior, this person can be better and can do better.
That's good. I've said it in another podcast before, but it just keeps coming to my mind. Positive reinforcement works better than criticism ever will. Every time. Positive reinforcement will be the way to go if it's possible. So, as leaders though, so it's been this around from the other side, the ones that are always typically thought of as giving all the feedback, you need feedback too. I want feedback from my leadership, those that are over me, and I want feedback from those that I lead. So a couple years ago, we were having a staff meeting, and we were having a hard time getting on the same page. And I got a text message a couple of days later from two of the different people in that staff meeting, and they said, we really need hard due dates for some of the events and some of the tasks that we have. We work better with a due date in mind. And I was really thankful that they came to me and told me that, because I had not been putting a hard due date on things, because in my mind, I'm a teacher. Like, due dates come with some consequences and some, and some punishment. So I let them know that, hey, I'm good with that as long as you're good with meeting that deadline, and for there to be a ramification of sorts if the deadline is not met. But they worked better with due dates, and they gave me that feedback. And I try to my best remember to say this needs to be done by end of this month, or whatever. Just I put a timeline. I'm better at putting timelines on things now.
Out there, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to take a minute and speak on the feedback side of it from pastoral point of view. So don't turn off the podcast till we're done. But 2 Timothy 3, verse 16 says, all Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable. So all Scripture is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. So I do want to say as gently as I can that correction is a part of the Word of God. It is also a part of pastoral care. Don't resent your pastor if he sees a behavior in you that needs some correction. That is a part of pastoral care. But I promise you, it's rooted in love.
Yeah.
I will. There may be an exception out there, but if your pastor comes to you and says, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Let's talk about this. Something I see, something I heard. Let's walk through this. If there's some correction there, or some teaching there, it is a part of pastoral care. And I would venture to say, the majority of pastors do this right. But Galatians 6 verse 1, and this is for anyone spiritually minded. If someone's caught in sin, Galatians 6 says, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently.
Wow.
It's not to put my foot on their throat and say, I got you. I'm better than you. I caught you in sin. From a pastoral point of view, from a Spirit-filled person's point of view, I always want to lead with grace. I want it to be truthful, but I want to consider my tone. I want to consider my timing. The trust level that's there, but mercy's new every morning. Mercy is needed by each one of us. And I assure you, our chief shepherd has extended grace and mercy to us in correcting us. Your pastor is doing the same thing in correcting and leading you. He's doing so in love. When there is correction there, it is for your good.
That's good.
Not to destroy you.
And I want to say this to the listeners. If you are in a place or you're in a position and you're not getting gentle feedback, or you're not getting positive feedback, I'm sorry that's where you are. But you can use this season as you develop for another season. And perhaps when you're in a different place or a different position of leadership, you can remember some of the hard feedback that you got without gentleness, without love. So in this season, don't get bitter or resentful. Just be thankful you experienced what it was like and commit to being a leader that you will give feedback with love, and you will give it gently and in a palatable way that that the sheep or whoever it is, employees, whoever, will receive it and be able to receive
Be
it.
able to receive it. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a couple of things from this podcast that I've noted, kind of a couple of rules for feedback. The first one is to check your motive. Is it to build this person up? Is it to build this individual up? Or is my motive to, I caught them. Let me go get a stone and stone them here. No, it's to build them up. It's to correct them, to help them, to extend grace, extend mercy that we're all thankful was given to us. And feedback's not just to prove I'm the boss. So check your motive. The second thing about feedback is listen to understand, not listen to defend. I'm listening while I come up with my excuse to tell you why I did this and defend my actions. Listen to understand what the person's telling you, either side. And then I would offer, from what we've said, feedback's a gift. And I want to receive it well. I want to give it well. But it is a gift. If somebody influential in my life that I know loves me is giving me some feedback, something they see, that is a gift from them to me. It's not, hey, Brother Shelton, I'm smarter than you. I saw this. Let me correct it here. It's a gift, and I'm thankful for it.
That's awesome.
I want to receive it with gratitude from them.
That was a really good summary of it today.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah, good job.
I appreciate
Speaking
that.
of gift and reviews, we started this episode talking about reviews. You could leave a review on our podcast and some honest feedback.
No. Only 5-star reviews. Only 5-star review. This podcast is not defective.
That's not what we just talked about. We have to be able to receive it humbly.
I need to go listen to this podcast.
I'm going to end with a quick little just anecdote. So I'm a teacher. I'm a college professor now, but for many years I taught the high school and in parent-teacher conferences. So anytime you have to go talk to somebody about something sensitive, AKA their kids, you always start with something good. You always find something positive about that kid before you ever tell them anything negative. And that's a good rule of thumb for whatever you're doing, whoever you're talking to. If you're talking to your own kids, but if you start in on blasting as soon as they pick up the phone, you're setting yourself up for their defenses to rise. That's natural. But several years ago when Jet was in preschool, it was time for his little parent-teacher phone call, and the teacher picked up the phone, and she wanted to tell me about Jet was just such a delight and a joy, and she loved to see him walk in the door. I said, I know where this is going. Give it to me, sister. What is it? What is he doing?
You're buttering me up for something.
She said, he's not learning his letters. He doesn't want to learn his letters. And I said, that's all I needed to know. But I appreciated her and her heart of telling me the things she did love about Jet before she told me he didn't care to learn his letters. And he does, thankfully, know all 26 now. So we are thankful you joined us today.
Now if we can get him to tie his shoes, we'll be winning. Considering he is at football practice now. So
we'll take any tips and tricks.
Absolutely. Well, all good things must come to an end.
It's been a good episode. Thank you for being with us. We hope to see you on the next one.
God bless you.